What is up, guys? It is your girl Antoinette back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be telling you guys why I said no to a $16,000 car loan. If you are new to my channel, then I'd like to inform you that I'm Antoinette. I have been on my debt-free journey for a few months now. I did take a pause, but I'm still getting back into it, learning and growing and trying to do whatever it takes to get out of debt and working my way on up, you feel me? So if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. If you have returned, then you already know what the deal is. And let's go ahead and get straight into it because there's no need to wait. In my debt-free journey, and at the beginning of my debt-free journey, I made it known that I do not have a vehicle. I usually get rides from my mother, or I usually walk to places. On one of these videos, I described me maybe getting a 10K car, quickly paying it off, and doing what I would with the car, which was get to work and back. And if you know me, you know that I don't spend money on cars or like big purchases unless I have to. I do like luxury things, luxury to me, which is things that I like and what I want, what I find useful. A car is one of those things where I really don't care for it, but I'm not about to ride a bike. That's just not something I can do and something I'm willing to do in the streets of Texas. People drive crazy. I decided, hey, I came into a little bit of money. I want to go get a car. Of course, I got my nails done. That's not an often thing with work being so strenuous. I was like, I just need to go be pampered for a second. I did get new glasses. My old one's Kobe 8. My dog Kobe. So before this, I've had two cars. One was a 1993. I'll post a picture here if I can. And it was $500. It was a gift to me from someone else and it lasted 3 years. I gave up that car because it had a lot of problems with dying overnight, electrical issues, and over time I paid more than $500 to get the car fixed. So I junked that car for $200. I just was living on campus at college, so I either got rides from roommates, walked everywhere, or got everything delivered through DoorDash or Amazon or Instacart like I do now. Where I was living at the time in college, they didn't have a bus system because it was in a richer neighborhood where they don't believe in public transportation. That's a whole other video. My second car that I owned was $1,400. I got it from a car auction. It was a 2003. It had 196,000 miles on it. It ran pretty good. The only problem is the window, the driver's side window, you couldn't roll it down or it would lean this way. Never got it fixed for whatever reason. And I think the windshield was cracked, but it costed like $100 to get the windshield fixed. I had to get both cars fixed for more than what I paid for it. And that's not worth it to me, especially when an emergency such as that is not worth it when you're already poor. You feel what I'm saying? If I bought something for cheap, yes, I'm going to expect it to break down. I'm going to expect it to need maintenance. You can expect any car to need maintenance. A constant car that needs maintenance versus a newer car that may need maintenance every once in a while that is going to be reliable, hopefully, because it's new. Oranges to apples. So I was like, this year, once I graduate college and I get my first big girl job, I am going to get a car. Not like a Tesla or anything. I just want a simple Honda, And saving up is not possible when my income is less than my bills. And we've seen where I've cut corners. If I had public transportation where I am, I would use it. But here we are at this point in time. I am looking to make a change and I'm in this constant cycle of I need a better job, but to get a better job I need a car, and to get a car I need a better job. So I'm in this constant cycle where I can't save. What do I do? Walk to work? The only jobs around me that are close are jobs where they're paying minimum wage. So really I didn't really have a choice in what I was able to do, even though I do have a choice. So I went to a few car dealerships and nobody told me that used cars and car prices are going up due to a chip shortage in the newer cars or whatever, and the demand is high, so they're up there. The two cars that I have were 1K, under 1K, would be probably 3 to 4K right now. For me to even be able to get a car, I went into these lots. I used Carfax, Auto Trader, Cars.com to look for cars in the 10K and under range, thinking that, okay, I would only have to put $1,000, $1,500 down and be done with it, right? That wasn't the case, friends. That was not the case. I've never bought a car from a lot before. I've always bought private seller cash cars. Yeah, that would be pretty much it. I've never had to go through an approval for a car loan, talking to a dealership, a salesperson, all of that. So the first two car places that I did go to, they were places where the cars would be cheaper, like a buy here, pay here, because I knew my credit is shot to hell. I haven't accrued any newer debt, but it's still in a place where I'm still kind of struggling to do stuff, and I do need a car that's maybe cheaper where the payments would be like $100 to $200. that was definitely idealistic thinking, and I probably should have went in there with lower expectations. They were asking for $3,500 to $5,000 down payments on the cars, when if I had that, I would just go get a cash car. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't know down payments had to be so much. Obviously, they want you to make a bigger show that you're going to pay, and I understand that, but when the car is an old ass Lexus that's still on the lot, no, I don't want that. When it's an old Chevy, why would I be paying $3,500 plus the loan for this old ass car when I could have just paid for it in cash if I had that cash? So I was like, you know what? Let's go to a new dealership like Honda. So we went to Honda, and I was like, let's just see what they say. I don't know. What they could say is no. So I found a few used cars under 13, under 10 at the Honda dealership. Had them in my handy dandy notebook, had the email, and was like, okay, this is what I'm going to spend and this is what I want to get, and that's it. So we go into the dealership, and the man is like, we sold a couple of them. The one that we have that's left over, it has the check engine light on. But oh, let me show you this new car we got. It's a 2016 Honda Civic, and we just got it in, and I'd be happy to show you. It's about $16,000. Didn't I just say the price point that I wanted to come in at? Didn't I just say that? I was like, okay, let's see it. Forget it. Let's do what we got to do. Let's see how much these payments will be. I thought, okay, since it's a $16,000 car, it won't be more than like $350, $400 a month. So he drives us around to go see the car. First of all, we can't see it because they're working on it. So we can just see it from the outside. Looked like a lovely car, looked like a beautiful car, was absolutely my dream car. And I was like, okay, in the moment I was like, okay, let's go ahead and try to apply for a loan. And I'm sitting there thinking, why do I let people do this? Why do I let people convince me to do stuff? And obviously a car salesman, they know how to swindle you, you know? I'm not saying he was trying to scam or anything, but obviously he showed me the higher priced car because he's gonna make more money off of me. And I'm not like claiming, you know, he was scamming me or anything, but that is part of his job. So we sat, and he's getting my income and stuff, and I'm embarrassed to tell him what my income is because we both know it ain't. I know, he know when I tell him this number, it's not adding up to what we'll be able to afford this car. So gives me like all the information stuff. He goes to the back, he comes back. He was like, this is what the payments will be if you were to be approved for this loan. $500 a month. No, $585 a month plus $3,500 down. I said, He was like, you think you can make those? I said, what do you think? To my mom and her boyfriend. She was like, if you think so. I was like, well, what if I had a cosigner? How much would it be then? And he goes to the back. All the while I'm sitting there like, I really don't think I should do this. Like, this is $16,000 on a car I didn't even come in for, and I'm already being convinced to do this, and this is going to be a debt that I have to take on and I have to pay back, and I can barely do that. Yes, I might be able to get a higher paying job, but also it just doesn't seem like a good idea. It's not giving good idea. You know what I'm saying? So he came back and he was like, 2 of our loan people said no, and we're just waiting on the other 2 to get back to us, and we'll talk to you guys in the morning and see with what your down payment, like with the down payment that you have, we'll see. So I went to work the next day. I was like, I don't really know if I should do this. So he called and he was like, hey, I have good news. When can you make it in? So that same day, I was thinking, like, even with my cosigner, this is going to be something that I'm going to be struggling to pay. This is going to be $8,000, $9,000 more than what I initially wanted to pay, and also that I wanted to spend and all that stuff. So I was like, you know what? Forget it. No. If this car is $16,000, even with my down payment, taxes and fees are going to be added on. With those taxes and fees, I'm looking at $18,000 to $20,000 for a used car when I could just get a new car for that price. And also, I didn't want to pay that price. My whole thinking was, if I get $10K, I can pay that down in maybe a year or 2 to 3 years. Not no 72-month loan. I'm not comfortable with doing that unless I have a 60 to 70K a year job where it wouldn't hurt my pockets as much. It wouldn't financially destroy me as much. I wouldn't be getting the car repossessed if I had a higher paying job where I could just pay it off, you know? My dad was like, well, what if you put more money, and what if you go in there and ask them this and that? And I was like, yeah, okay. But then I thought about it again. The whole purpose of my debt-free journey is to get out of debt. The whole purpose of me doing what I'm doing and working towards what I'm working towards was to get out of poverty and to have a better life. And sorry for wasting this man's time, but I also thought this is not what I came for and this is not what I want. That is not what I'm getting. Like, I'm not going to do it just because I feel bad for wasting his time and just because I was convinced to do it, when I know this is not what I want to do, and I'm going to be responsible with that for the next few years. So I was like, you know what, tell the man we're not coming. No, I'll wait until I can either save for a bigger down payment, or I find the car and the price point that I want and that I can afford and that I can get. And if I have to work 2 jobs and walk to one of them, I'll do that. But we're not going backwards with this. And again, I'm not above a cash car, but also I don't want the responsibility of having that financial burden that the cash cars that I've had in the past have brought me. So right now, I'm carless. I will not be riding a bike. That's everybody's go-to advice. No, I'm not. It's not for me. I can't ride a bike everywhere I want to go. Looking for remote jobs, hoping to save up some more, looking to rebuild my emergency fund, and just do what I have to do until I get in the place that I want, where I can buy my dream car, which is that Honda Civic. So thank you guys for viewing this video. I hope you liked and enjoyed. If you have car loan experience or you have experience getting a car and you want to share that with me, go ahead in the comments. What did you think of this situation? And I will see you guys next video. Peace.